So, welcome again officially to today's session on social media and PR. And before we dive deeper into this topic, and I prepared actually a lot of material, so I'm a bit, worried that it's going to be a lot of input, but I think it will be interesting, or I hope it will be interesting for you. And I know that from the last sessions, you were always very active and keen on interacting, so I'm really looking forward to it. I would once more, before we do that, look into the videos and the application and like for the next phases, because you know the deadline is coming up. So let's look at it. Again, just a quick walk through the program. You know, we are now in the middle of the online classes, so tonight is the 4th online class, and we're up to get to the next phase, which are going to be the live seminars in 3 countries, so in Lebanon, Jordan, and Germany. And there you will create content, you will have input, you will be networking, and with those social media videos, in the end, you will also apply for the last phase, which is going to be the 3rd phase when you will be invited to Berlin. So right now, here you see again, we have the participants coming. You are asked to hand in a speech, a video of a speech until August 6th. So how are you going to apply for it actually? We wanted you to hand in a short video, around 1.5 minutes maximum, of yourself giving a short speech about a topic you think is important, something you stand for, you fight for, you believe in, is needed. Especially, you know, we're talking about the topic of youth empowerment in MENA, so definitely it should be something that is relevant young people from your region. So what we don't ask you to have a professional recorded video. It can be with your smartphone, at home, outside, wherever you are. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be shiny and glamorous. But what matters are your arguments. They have to be relevant, of course, fact-based, so not alternative facts, as they sometimes call it, but real arguments, relevant arguments, and hopefully surprising even. They should be, you should have an attitude. So we want to see your personality. We want to get an idea of what you stand for. And we want to see your passion. So show emotions, make us feel something. That is also the criteria of the jury. Just a quick reminder again. Also from last session, you talked about this. Chris talked and elaborated about the 3 pillars of rhetorics. And the 3 pillars are ethos, which is like the idea, the philosophy, the relevance, the values. The second is logos, so the convincing arguments, the reason you give, somehow the content, you know. And the 3rd part is pathos, so the passion, the emotions who are evoked, the strong presence. And this is like the criteria how you will be selected. Since I know, you know, that we unfortunately have a small group of people that we can invite to the live session. So it's going to be 20 out of the total amount of people that applied here. You know, I know it can be, it's a tough decision probably, because we have amazing people, but these are the criteria for the jury. Let me just have a look. There is a question. Do we have to introduce ourselves in the beginning of the video? I think it would make totally sense to introduce yourself shortly. Last session, Chris talked about the storytelling arch. And he gave you, you know, this like the hero's journey. So just to summarize it, we will be uploading the video, so you can also have again a look. How do you tell a great story? It has to have like 3 elements. Again, the number 3. It has to have a call for adventure. So something that interests me, that evokes emotions and makes me interested, gets my attention, then you have to take me on a journey, tell a story, give different arguments, examples, and in the end, there should be like the emotional showdown, your emotional key message that you want to stick with the people. So definitely it makes sense in this 3 parts to somehow, somewhere talk about yourself, who you are, what you stand for. So there was again a question about the endurance of the video, 1.5 minutes. So it can be very short. It doesn't have to be like a whole long speech, which maybe doesn't make it easier, but you know, make it short and really, really quick. And please upload it until August 6th by naming it application video, give your first and your last name. There is the Google folder in our, there's like an extra folder in our shared Google folder for the application videos. Here is the link. And you know, you will be able to also see the videos from the other participants, which I think is nice. And it's also a nice way to share with each other and learn from each other. So it shouldn't be too much the idea of fighting against each other. It should be like learning from each other, being maybe also inspired by others. And it doesn't have to be like a competition, like every video should be the same. It should show you and your personality. So that's what we look for. So yeah, if you have any questions, let us know. Diana asked about the language. Yeah, good question. English. English would be useful and good because the jury is not only Arabic speaking. If there are more questions, you can write to us, and you can also, I wanted to remind you of the FAQs. They are also in the Google folder. There are also questions answered, so have a look at it, and hopefully then you know what to do. So do you feel like you need another explanation of it, or is it all clear? I mean, if it's not really clear to you, and if it's due to my poor English, one could probably also explain in Arabic again. Let me know.
I have a question. In case we got any question, yani we didn't think about right now, who can we ask this question?
You can either write it in the WhatsApp chat. I mean, that's probably handy because then everyone can see the answer.
Yeah.
If they have the same question, it might be useful. Or if it's like a personal question you don't want everyone to see, you can also just email to info@eldacademy.org.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Also, the travel and the hotel and food will be covered, so you don't have to pay for that. So we have already for Lebanon, we have a nice hotel reserved. It is not in Beirut, so we will together, or the people from Lebanon together, will be traveling in a shuttle from Beirut to this hotel. It's in the north of Lebanon. Let me have a look. I'm so horrible in remembering the place, but it's a place of one of our project partners, an elda alumni. So Rowan knows her, Azil. She has a wonderful hotel that we're happy to be there and spend the time. So let me have a look. It's in Kusba El Kura. Yeah, did I?
Yes, Kura, yes.
Yeah. So you can have a look, and as I said, the expenses for travel and staying in the hotel and food will be covered. And for the Palestinians and Jordanian participants, we are in the moment organizing the hotel in Jordan. And so we know also that for the Palestinians traveling from West Bank to Amman is also complicated with several checkpoints and so on. So also together with Pahia, we're about to organize this. Of course, it depends on who are the participants who are chosen, where they are from, in which part of West Bank or Jordan. And also, of course, we have participants from Gaza who are in Egypt in the moment, in Cairo. So we will be organizing this. And yes, that's it for the moment. A reminder about the dates. I can also add it again then to the presentation because I just noticed that it was not in the folder. So the dates are in September. So we're planning it from September 16th to 19th. So that's the week. That's like more or less the time. And if you apply with your video, you somehow should be able to come and participate and be there. So if you're not sure whether you are able to really go, please don't hand in a video because it's unfair to those who really want to go. So more questions. Naveen, for Palestinian people, the live courses will be held in Amman. Exactly, in Amman. This is due to our understanding and information for Palestinians, the place they can travel to. So if, yeah, that's also people, Palestinians from Gaza who are in Egypt should be able to travel there. And Abla asked, when do we know the results? So we will send out the results. They should be sent out. The plan was to do it on August 16th. So I hope. I'm happy that I'm not the jury, to be honest, because just from the sessions, I already know it will be tough to decide on this. Yeah. Okay. If there are more questions, remarks, I mean, feel free to just drop them in WhatsApp. And you know, the sessions in September are the first step. So the ones who are participating there, they will be creating their own videos, like a short campaign that will be published on social media. They will have input, they will have networking sessions. So it's going to be like intense 3 days. We will also be talking about video storytelling, how to use that, how to create it. And so there will be like a deeper dive into the topics. There's another question by Carla.
Yes, I just need to clarification on something.
Yeah.
Regarding the topic, you said that we can choose any topic or argument that's relevant to our values or our career or our personality. Like it can be as random as something related to law or the environment or human rights, as general as that, or should it be specific or about the sessions that or the master classes that we're taking?
It should be about your topic, so something you stand for. If it's
Okay.
law, for example, if it's, I don't know, the change of a law, or I don't know, something that
Okay.
you are advocating for, that's, or
Yeah.
it's the environment, whatever. So what's relevant to you.
Okay, thank you.
So then the question about the exact dates, yes. So that's the ones I was talking about. So it's September 16th to 19th. And will we be making adjustments for the video on the next 2 sessions? No, you have to hand in the video until August 6th. Then the jury will have a look at the videos for around a week and will give us their feedback, and then you will get the results. Abir asked, how much does the topic affect the results? So I think the arguments, they affect the results. So to have strong arguments, to have relevant arguments, something that is really needed, that is important and interesting. So I think that's what's really important, not so much the topic itself. You know, we have people with very different backgrounds. So to us, it's important that you believe in what you stand for. And of course, we're here to talk about democratic debate, so it should be a democratic value. So definitely that. Abla asked, what are the plans for 8th and 13th of August? So 8th of August, we will have a deep dive into the art of debating with also Rowan and Chris. So you will hear a masterclass with 2 debating experts, people who have experience in how to structure debates, how to structure arguments, how to convince people. And the class on the 13th of August is about self-empowerment, and we will also have highlight on the female empowerment, and we will have a kick-off, so time to reflect and how to, as a group, somehow, close these online masterclasses. You again will find all the dates in our Google folder. Okay. So if there are not much more questions, then we can move on, I think. So this was the criteria again. But about today's session. So what are we doing? We are talking about social media in a nutshell. We will be talking about communication strategy building for PR and social media. So I will be giving you a strategy tool. Other than that, we'll be talking about best practices and tools, have time for questions and group work, and what I just did, give info about the qualification for phase 2, the videos, criteria, travel, etc. First of all, I know, especially in the application, many of you wrote that for young people, you lack a platform where to give your topics the visibility they need. Can you maybe elaborate a bit more on that, or tell me, because I thought, okay, a platform, could be social media, because that's basically the platform that especially young people are using a lot in order to get information, to share information, to present themselves and their topics. So I was just wondering how you feel about that, or what you feel is missing. In the social media world.
Can I answer?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay, so I believe that it's right that we have many social media platforms, and especially now Instagram is booming with many accounts and the place that we can actually talk about something we want or something we are passionate about. But I believe what we talk when you talk about what's missing is actually a platform, or not an account or a workshop space or such circles that can listen without judgment, where you can elaborate freely without fear of judgment, without fear that your words may leak to any person or any authority, especially here in Lebanon. So we don't lack a platform as a platform like Instagram or an application. This is not what's meant. I think what we mean is we lack a place, a safe place where ideas are valued, where you can share freely, even if we're mistaken in my view. But what is wrong and right? It's very broad. what's wrong for you is right for me, and vice versa. So I believe this is what we need, a safe space where you can talk freely and where people can debate, but in a very, if you want, in a very general and a very decent way.
Okay, thanks for sharing, Carla. That makes totally sense. Sasha, you also wanted to add something.
Hi, everyone. It's great, actually. I just wanted to say that it's great having everyone back and new faces, because I feel that the first step was this workshop and the previous one into having a safe space in which we can express, especially that last time we started discussing and thinking about topics that we thought it was normal, like school books, how it was very patriarchal, etc. But I would like to add to what the previous lady was saying, is that it's not that we need a new Instagram app or a Facebook app. Yani sometimes when I'm looking through Facebook, there are certain groups in which, for example, women, they express their fear or their anger. Maybe a couple of years ago, women were not given the opportunity to express so much. So whenever they would speak, people would be always attacking them and telling them, don't do this, don't do that, etc. But recently, I've been looking at the comments, and apparently, people like women, especially older women, not like our age, they started realizing they can speak up and they can support each other, which would not undermine yourself if you support me, for example. So I believe after reading such comments, it's not the platform that we need to create, it's the mentality that we need to make sure everyone knows that they're free to talk, and the enemy of a woman is not a woman, it's the patriarchal mentality that she was born into, and she was raised to believe that it's always her fault. So I believe the more we talk and the more we let people know that it's okay to talk, we would be going into the right path. And thank you, Jessica, so much.
Thank you, Sasha. What an important, not opinion, but remark. Thank you so much. Gita, yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, honestly, it kind of relates to what Sasha just mentioned. And we can't be asking for a safe platform where we can express ourselves and then talk about freedom of speech and then not expect other people with different opinions to react in whatever way to what we're saying. So it won't be actually very logical to make like a place where people with the same mentality would just talk about things. Can make a Facebook community for that. But the idea is that we should be using the social media platforms in a smart way in order to be using this platform in order, as Sasha said, to change the mentality and not wait for the mentality to be changed and then, be ready to post whatever thing and without expecting any negative feedback to it. Because at the end of the day, I see social media as a mirror for our society. And thinking about it, you may say whatever opinion you have in public, but then few people would actually react or have the courage to react and say whatever opinion they have. But in the case of social media, the fact that you can put whatever comment you want and all that can be shown about you is basically your profile photo or whatever fake name you used. This makes the like it makes how can I say it? It basically just shows the real opinions of people because they can be judged as much as they can do, or as much as like they won't face the same judgment as that they might face in real life. You know what I mean? So I think we should learn how to be using the social media in a smart way, if I can say so.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing, Geet. Loai.
I actually relate to what Reed said. honestly, like as someone from East Jerusalem, I'm not sure how much you can help with that. But the problem is when sharing on social media. I think, for example, social media, Instagram especially, is a great platforms. X, Twitter. But the problem is like the political immunity with that. Like a lot of people got arrested just because of sharing normal things, criticizing the policies of the government. So I don't think you can offer that. But on the other hand, I think I was one of the people that shared a lot of things or used to share a lot of things. But ever since I saw people getting arrested, I stopped because I know I could be arrested for doing nothing, for saying nothing. So I think trying to share professionally without criticizing maybe, or just like putting spotlights on important things is maybe more helpful than just criticizing the government or things that would make me end up in jail or something. So I guess sharing professionally is more important than just raising my voice or the voice of others. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Loai, so much all for your perspectives, which already hold very important pieces of this topic. And I think it is especially important since that's the reality. So, Loai, as you said, so first of all, also for us, your safety is the most important. So I think it is a great tool and you can share anything, but we live in a reality where you, for example, have different consequences than I do. If I post something here in Germany and I post something on something that I really care about, there are certain laws. I cannot be put into prison. I cannot be deported on that. And you live in other realities. So first of all, I want you to also see this not as a speech or an input from my side, but I also want to share and discuss with you and hear from you and find solutions for your realities, because you are already the experts of your reality. And maybe this is also something to keep in mind when we talk today about good examples, about content, and just like you said, how can you speak up without putting you on the edge or without putting you in danger? That's something we will have to talk about. And at the same time, like Sasha said, and like Geet said, we have to speak up, we have to use the space and we have to talk about things. We have to show the world what it's really like and what's going on. And this is the chance actually of social media to use it. At the same time, social media is owned by private companies that make the rules, and that's also very problematic, especially talking about algorithms and about, as you said, especially for political topics, they make it very difficult. Things get banned, things get censored. So yeah, this is like the reality that we're dealing with. So let's see what can we do and how can we use these tools in a way to really reach out to people. So I brought some ideas, some examples, but I know that, or especially want this today be a safe space for you to interact and to talk, to share also content. I don't want to be showing you great content and then you can just repeat it and redo it. I want to also hear from you, because you are all social media users. You use it all the time, and I want to hear from you and from your experience. What do you like? What do you see? Also, I know that a lot of you already are very active on social media and have quite big audiences and have something to say. So it would be wonderful also to hear from you and your expertise. It's just, social media is also a collection of experiences. What has worked for you? What did you learn? It would be great if you were willing to share with the others. So are there more questions or remarks? If not, I can just start showing what I prepared and we will talk together and discuss on the use of social media. So first of all, I want to start with two very different perspectives on this topic. So do you know that gentleman on the left?
That's
Confucius.
Confucius, right?
Yes, it's Confucius. Do you know something from him?
Yes, he is like the father of the Chinese philosophy, and there are so many like philosophical quotation related to him, and also maybe some people associated with a religion. And during the communism, it was forbidden, and then they tried to reappropriate it after it. I don't know if it's true, but yeah.
Can you repeat the last part of the sentence?
Yes, that after the communism, the state of China tried to like reappropriate like the culture related to it.
So during communism, yes, in China. But you know, Confucius is way older, so
Yes, he is from the
it's-
antiquity, if I'm not
so he's like
mistaken.
an antique, one of the old wise philosophers. So Charbel, you also raised your hand.
Yes, there's a beautiful quote that he said something along the line that real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance, and I think that this quote is really beautiful and deep if we really understand it and comprehend it.
Yeah, it's a great quote. He's probably the master of quotes, although he never wrote one of them down, because actually all the knowledge we have from him, it's not written knowledge. It's some of his students or people afterwards. They claim it to be from Confucius, but we don't have like a book who was written by Confucius or something like that. So he used to live around 500 before Christ, and he, as you know, as we just spoke about, he's like the founder of Confucianism, and very beautiful ideas and interesting thoughts, especially when it comes to the question of the essence of our being, of personal development, and the question about the big why. So on the other side, I put different brands like Harley Davidson, Facebook, Disney, Coca-Cola, Google, Apple. Do you have an idea why I put those two pictures together? And does it somehow make sense to you, or is it like completely opposite sides? Yeah, it's not really obvious. So no one is raising their hands because actually there is from Confucius, or like Abir, you raised your hand. I want to hear from you.
I don't know if that makes sense, but as he is a philosopher and he had a philosophy and approach to life, also these company have their own philosophy and approach towards doing things. And they usually try to spread their philosophies to others.
Does
that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And that's exactly the point. So Confucius, he said in one of the writings that is supposed to be coming from Confucius, in Da Shui, the Great Learning, he makes out those different kind of layers that you need in order to lead a state. And as a leader, you need to have certain abilities, a certain personality, a way of thinking. Today we talk about mindset. And he comes down to the point where he says, well, in the end, it is all about your philosophy of understanding that you can really and you have the power to change reality. And you can only change reality if you look at the way you think about things, if you look at the way you structure the world. So it's only if you make those, well, last session maybe you talked about stories. Only if you make those stories visible, if you understand that all of this is part of storytelling and of philosophy, then you can come to the point where you can really change reality because you stand for something and you make other people follow you. Because this is basically what leadership is. When we talk about leadership, it's about creating followers. So Diana, you wanted to add something, but the hand raising didn't work. In that case, if you want to say something, you can just unmute yourself and can say my name. So Diana, yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, so that's why I wrote in the chat. Just wanted to answer on your question concerning why the brands and the picture of Confucius. I don't know. He's very famous, and these brands are very famous too. But I guess there's a paradox that he didn't write any book, as you just said earlier. But we are talking about him now in 2024. And apparently he didn't have any social media platform. So that's quite impressive. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. And that's, that's kind of the power of leadership. And if you think about it that way, how do you really create followers? By convincing someone that what you think and believe, what you stand for is actually true, is maybe something that's worth fighting for, or something that's worth, I don't know, changing your life for, leaving work for, leaving your country for, whatever. People do the craziest things because they believe in stories and they believe in the person that tells them. So actually also what these brands do is telling stories and sharing kind of their philosophy or vision or something that they feel like other people should or would need or want to follow. So actually when we talk about PR and social media, everything that comes with communication, I want you to look at this short input from Simon Sinek. Maybe you have heard of it and you have seen the whole thing, but it's also a way of your perspective on how to communicate your ideas. So I already have the link here. Let's have a look. I hope you can all hear it. Please let me know if it doesn't work.
As it turns out, there's a pattern. As it turns
Yes.
out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think, act, and communicate the exact same way, and it's the complete opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do, 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done, that's how most sales is done, and that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do, we say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You ready?
So that's the speech. Have you seen it before? Have you heard of Simon Sinek? So as you see, it's not from last year, it's already a bit older. So this is, how marketing has changed over the last 1 or 2 decades, and how communicating and selling something to the audience has been influenced. And I think what's always so interesting is that's why I put Confucius and all those brands on the other side on the same page, because actually everything that smart marketers today talk about has already been said in the past and has already been understood. Last time, Chris talked about Aristotle, now we talk about Confucius. It's old knowledge because it is how people think, how people feel. And that's really important to keep in mind, that actually you should always start with the why, like he did. You should always also, when it comes to your content, when it comes to your strategy, your ideas, start with the why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What is the purpose? And that's the next step. Ask yourself, what for? So by starting with the why, you are already there in the value system, in the belief system of people. And if you give them your what for, that's kind of the call for adventure you're giving them, that you're interesting them in something, you're asking them to follow you, you're asking a certain action from them. And these 2 questions really start at the beginning, or stand at the beginning. So as I said before, you can call it, you can speak about it with Confucius or with Aristotle. It's actually the same thing. He said, like the last time, you have to start with ethos, with your values. So what motivates me? Why am I doing what I am doing? This is really what convinces people. And also this is what builds a strong connection. So, there is a huge list of values that you can take from. And I think all of you who are here for a certain cause and who want to change something, who want to, as you said before, learn, or you want to spread a message, you want to change the world for the better. I think it's these values that we have to have clear for ourselves, for our own well-being, but also to be able to communicate it to the others, to build a common ground that we share with others, and to create connection. So this is actually something that I want you to do now in small groups. I want you to start with your why and to communicate about it. Why are you doing what you do? What motivates you? Why are you here? So what is your big why? And then discuss about your what for. And maybe you can already start by looking at your favorite social media platform. And the what for, it should contain also who are your followers. So maybe you have already looked into it and made some first research on the age, origin, the gender, whatever. Maybe you already know, but it can change from time to time, what they like actually. So what kind of accounts do they follow? What kind of content works best for them? So the what for, should already go into that direction, thinking from the audience perspective. So this is something I want you to work on now. But first of all, other questions, remarks, comments? If not, and if you are still here, Rowan, maybe you can open the breakout rooms and we make maybe groups of 3 people.
Yes, sure.
So I know this is just a starting point, especially when you research on your audience, on your target audience. You can take forever, so you can go into detail. Do you know how to find out who is following you?
What do you mean on social media platforms?
Yes. Especially, on Instagram, for example, on Facebook, there are those great analysis tools that you can use. So when you go to your account, you can look into the analytics and you can see who exactly is following you. So do you know how to get there and how to use it?
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
I think you can know the gender, the ages.
Yes. So
Yeah, but I think when the account will be private, you can't know these things.
on your private account?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on like where you want to publish. Maybe also it's not the social media, maybe it's not Instagram, maybe it's Facebook. So this is why I said, like, think of your favorite platform that you want to publish on or that you want to be seen on. But it can be also, I don't know, if you are the publisher of a magazine, it's not going to be the analytics then on your Instagram. Then maybe you have to find out who is selling my magazine and to whom. I mean, that's more complicated than on Instagram. But for this task today, just start with your why. So why are you doing what you do? And then discuss your what for and give us already an idea and look into the numbers and analytics of the people who are following you. Okay. Are the groups created? Yes. So we will have 20 minutes for that, so that you can really have time to talk about things. And then we will take you back. If you have questions, you can always come back into the main room where Rowan and I will be staying. Yeah? And we can start now. Does it work for everyone? Mai, Naveen, Sandos, do you know how to get into your room?
Can
Guy, does it work?
can you add me to any breakout room?
Yes, you are already in room 5. You just have to accept.
Yeah, but I entered the room. There's only one person, but apparently he can't hear.
There's 2.
Okay.
Yeah, just try again. If it doesn't work, let us know. And Mai, does it work for you? Or May? Maybe she's not here or he. All good, Rowan?
Yes, what about you?
Good. I'm just stopping the recording, so
We share the same why. Like we all want to change our societies to become more inclusive and a better society for us to live. We're still young. We're still looking to our life. So we want a society where we can express ourselves freely. Actually, it was a bit challenging for me because I was saying that I used to know my why before the war in Gaza, but now I'm a bit confused because I'm a human rights and that
I'm sorry, your connection is not good. I didn't hear what you
government workers. So it's a bit to understand but the whole discussion was really interesting.
Okay, Danya, can you maybe repeat again the last part because the connection wasn't good?
Oh yes, sorry. I disconnected from the internet. Yeah, I was saying like what was the part that you didn't hear?
You started with that you somehow lost the why, and now you were trying to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was saying that I used to know my why, so it was a bit challenging for me to answer this question. Right, I used to know my why. It was very clear to me. I'm a passionate in human rights, but since the war in Gaza, I started to feel like I lost, somehow the hope in this world to be fair. Like are similar and different in the same time. Like we want more communities. We want to live free, and we also have our differences as well.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for sharing, Danya. Miriam, how was it for you?
it was amazing. We had the same like goals from social media. So the main why for us was to change, to influence, to spread awareness, and to do impact. So that's why we thought that social media is very useful nowadays because it could target every ages, but mostly teenagers. What for me, the most important things are human rights right now, because for me they are disappearing. Yeah, that's so sad, but it is the case due wars and due everything happening. How? By speeches, videos, essays, maybe reels, posts, storytelling, filming realities, live videos, and a lot more.
Thank you for sharing. Maria.
So in our group, I was with Wasim and Lama. So why we are present to make a change and to leave a trace in the society, and we all agreed that sometimes we have to join different fields together in order to be able to make this change. And our favorite social media platform is Instagram, since we can find a lot of diversity on this application, and it's really accessible for everyone. However, once you go for it and you make your account a public account, there is no back. So you have to be really professional and to take care what are the message you are delivering through this application.
Thank you so much for sharing. Someone else from another group, what did you find out?
Can I speak؟ احكي
sorry.
it's okay.
No, معلش ساشا قبل.
Sasha, then Geet?
Hi. The group was amazing. We were two girls from Lebanon and two from Palestine. I assume if it was for different nationalities, maybe we would have not gotten along on the same issue, I mean. But the fact that our countries are both suffering from war, we believe that social media is the most important weapon that we may use, especially that now we were discussing, if we look at the previous wars in Gaza, not so many people outside Palestine were with the Palestinian conflict. But now, because they are seeing the testimonies of people who live in Gaza, that they are sharing their daily lives, and also everyone now is showing how they used to live and how they are living now. So people are like, wait, we thought that Gaza was very old, it had old houses. So people now are very surprised that Gaza is very developed compared, especially to what they thought Gaza was, because the media usually showed us Gaza, it's just a donkey walking through the street in a very old, rubble, unclean street. But Gaza, it's not, it's very beautiful. So everyone after the videos are like, Gaza has hotels, they have many different things. This is why we should be using the social media to show the real life that people in Gaza live.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sasha. Geet, and then Abir.
Okay. So unlike the other groups in our breakout room, we didn't put the why as like we need to influence or to make a change. I think changing and making an influence is more of a how. Like you have this value stand for. For us, for me, for example, it was like empowering youths in order to uncover their full potentials. My colleague or my friend Luay had one related to reducing inequality, making, especially he's in Palestine, so inequality is a real thing there. So this was like the why for us, the motive, and then the how and what for it was making these social media platforms or social media accounts that would eventually lead to a certain change in the society. But now, honestly, as Sasha was saying, the whole concept of the power of social media was actually became very debatable with the thing happening in Gaza and in South Lebanon. Like, okay, social media is actually spreading awareness about the issue, but how much is awareness enough? You know what I mean? Everyone knows there's an oppression happening, but apparently it's not enough to just show or spread the word. I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. But yeah.
Totally understood. Yeah, Geet, thanks for that perspective. Also questioning what is the how and what is the why exactly. Yeah, Abid.
So I was in an amazing group. We were two Lebanese and two Palestinians. We answered the why question as of why are we in this program. Some of us had the idea that they want to learn how to communicate their ideas better. And another opinion was that they want to learn how to mobilize. And then one of us had all the theoretical, like not all the perfectly, but has a lot of theoretical knowledge. But she thinks that she needs to work on learning how to apply this theoretical knowledge, like to get the practical skills, because theoretical knowledge is never enough. And then we thought, like, why do we need these skills at the first place? What for are these skills? Which is to learn how to inspire and increase awareness and communicate better with others. And the platforms, actually, we had 3 different platforms. For me, I chose Instagram because it's more for late teenagers and early adults, and there's a lot of trends that happen on there. One of my colleagues preferred TikTok as it targets youth better, and one of my other colleagues preferred Facebook because there's a lot of reach there and it's more formal, it targets adults. So every one of us had a different perspective on the platforms. That's all from my side. If any one of you guys want to add anything.
Thanks, Abir. Also interesting to look at the why and like why are we participating here, because that can also be a question, or like what is my motivation to develop myself or something for. Yeah, and also a very important point about those different platforms that we want to talk about today as well. So you saw, like, starting with the why can have quite different different aspects. So I want to give you this tool in order to build a strategy, because if it's on social media, if it is like public relation, if it is media work, if it is a campaign or whatever you do, you have to have a strategy. And this is our tool that we use, that we developed in order to really get your own ideas out, to structure what you want to communicate. And it always starts with the foundation, with the groundwork, and that is to work on your identity. This is really the most important thing. You have to know, what do you stand for? Why do you do what you do? And here we say, like, name your 3 key values, the values you stand for, that you want to transport. It's not only important for yourself, because you were talking about losing hope and about this question, what does it even matter what I do? And I totally understand it. So especially when you face these challenges, it's important to remember, why do you do what you do? Because values are something that are deeply connected with our personality, with our identity, and this is not something that we can easily change. Maybe you know the situations when you feel like something is off, you don't feel comfortable in a situation, and you have like a strong emotional reaction. That is usually when like your key values are somehow under attack, or what we call like a dilemma situation, a situation where your values are being challenged. And this is, you know, people and our values are deeply connected with the way we're brought up and our identity and what we believe in. So this is your base. And then there's the personality that we want you to encourage to think of your 3 core strengths. What are you good at? What do you want to give? And to really focus on the strength. What am I good at already? What can I give? What is like my superpower? And then the third part of this identity building is the emotional value. So how do you want people to feel? How should they perceive you? This is exactly the change of perspective that you were also talking about in the last session when you were talking about the Frank Lantz quote that it doesn't really matter what you say, but it's what people hear. Because you have to know what you stand for and what you want to say, what you're good at, what's like yourself, but you also have to know how to get that transported to your audience. And for that, you need to know what your audience can hear, you know, because if you keep on talking about things that they have no understanding of, that they have no connection to, they have no experience in, and that's the difficulty. And probably that's also what you're talking about, what you were saying, that you have the feeling that, you know, especially war in Gaza, it has been going on for decades, and people were in the Western world were not really aware of it or didn't know about it. And you feel like, but how and why? I mean, it's for you, it's so obvious, and it's like every day, and of course it's understandable. But if you come to someone who has never heard of it or has never been in touch with it, with all that emotion and with all this, with your experience, you know, you have to start putting yourself in the other person's shoes. And I don't mean that you have to put your beliefs and the things you care for, what you stand for, by the side and talk after their mouth. But you have to first really understand, okay, so what is the belief system of this person? Where does she or he come from? What are her experiences? And then, you know, this is when communication starts, in order to be able to be heard by the other person. So it's really important, especially when we talk about PR strategy, social media strategy, that we think about, you know, the feelings of the other people, our audience. Yeah. If you have comments, questions, you can always ask right away. I hope you understood and you don't feel like I'm telling you that you have to say what people want you to say. But in order to really reach out to your audience, you need to know and understand them. Also, this is like the foundation. And then you move on, and then you go into this part which is like the classic strategy building. So you set your goals, for example, for the next 6 months. So the SMART goals, I will talk about goals also in a bit. What is a good goal? Then about the market, you have to do research, find out like who else does what you do, who do you want maybe to team up with, from whom do you want to differ. Again, the audience, this time more specific, like who exactly do you want to reach? What does your target group look like? Who is maybe not part of your audience? That is also something you should be aware of and know of and look into. Who do you not want to reach? That's also important. Then the resources, definitely. So what resources do you have to realize your goals? Time, money, but can be also tools. So what kind of applications, programs, whatever do you have, and what do you know? Or also important, what do you need and maybe not know? What do you have to learn? Yeah, so that's the resource planning. Networks, definitely, especially for initiatives, campaigns, without a lot of money, you know, we're not all here with millions of dollars. It's important to create a network and to know who are the opinion leaders, who are the people who you could involve your network, and how do you enlarge it, and where do you enlarge it? Where are your debates really happening also in the online world? Can be a group in Facebook, can be LinkedIn group, somewhere you want to connect, someone you want to team up with, do maybe a live session together, go to online meetings if you cannot go like to real meetings, but like keep pushing your network. And then also the channels, only then the channels come, you know? So first I want to know what do I stand for, who do I want to reach, who else exists, and then I decide on a certain channel. Because if I want to reach, for example, elderly people and I do it on TikTok, that could be difficult. The other way around as well. So that's, you know, how we're going up the pyramid. And then the third part is the realization part, like thinking of certain formats who are really good to reach your audience, which format could fit which channel. So is it like a video? Is it a podcast thing? Is it whatever, you know? Is it a guide that I want to share with hacks? Is it a documentary that I'm doing from my place? So, you know, probably all know also Wizard Pizan from Gazan. She was also an elda alumni, and she's reporting from Gaza. And she has this format where she is like constantly talking about her reality and speaking about I'm still alive in Gaza. And this is like the format that she created. And then the last step is the roadmap, like really setting a timetable, milestone, what tasks, but that's like the last part. So this is an example on how you can build a strategy. So if you think about, you know, I want to publish more, you know, it's always something you can just start posting, but it really makes sense to really build a strategy and think about what you want to accomplish, because it makes a difference. It depends on your goals, it depends on your personality, it depends on the people you want to reach. And it's always trial and error, but it's also researching and planning. Do you have questions for the moment? If not, I can give you a short example and then we can have a break and then dive a bit deeper also more into different social media channels and tools and whatever. So this is an example, about the setting goals. First of all, you know about SMART goals. So SMART is like the criteria for a good goal. A goal should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So when you set a goal, it should also have KPIs, so key performance indicators that you can measure, that you can see, okay, my goal makes sense and is relevant and really is measurable. An example, a bad goal would be, I want everyone in the world to support women's rights. That's not the best goal, because everyone is never a good target group, and it's not really specific. It's also not time bound. And how am I going to measure everyone in the world? So here, in a good goal, you would have until 1222. I want to create an active network of 5,000 middle-aged Lebanese women on Instagram and Facebook for better financial independence of women. I want to offer trainings and be featured in 3 articles with my network. This is your goal. So this is not the why that you are communicating. This is the goal you set for yourself. And setting a good goal takes time. It's not something that I just think of now and I put it down. When you're going back to our strategy pyramid, the goal is here after your values, the personality, the emotional value. And, it comes together from also the research you do, the audience you're looking into. So for your goal to be good, you may need some time. So I want to show you a little case study on a strategy that we built for an initiative that wanted to bring more women into tech. I mean, there are already many existing voices in favor of it, but still here in Germany there are not enough women in tech industry. So there was a new initiative built of different democratic parliamentary groups with big companies like Telekom and Siemens and so on, and they wanted to start an initiative and advocate for more women in tech jobs. What they wanted was an identity, a clear message. They wanted to have a strategy. They didn't have anything. They didn't have a social media, no website, no nothing. Yeah, they just had the idea, the network, the people. So how did we do it? We used this tool. So we started with them in a workshop. It was 50 different women, finding out like what is the campaign about, like what are the values. They want to stand for gender equality, but also innovation was important to them. So it shouldn't, it should be tech, but also female. They wanted it to be understood as an added value in every way, like socially and economically. So not only to be something, an initiative that supports women, but something that gives value to the economy. So if you include women, it's a plus for everyone, That was what's important to them. They had the goals, they want to increase the visibility, they wanted to have a website in 4 weeks, they wanted to have a digital campaign, and they wanted to have press releases. They had different target groups. So they wanted to include women and men, not only for women, for them it was really important to include men as well. They had their companies, the civil society and politics. So as you can see, it was a huge target group. And not really specific, to be honest. That was the difficult part. They didn't have a lot of money, which was funny because they were like the biggest companies, but they didn't apparently want to spend a lot of money on it. But they had the network, so they had important people with a lot of reach. So this is what we did. If you don't have money to print posters and send them or hang them everywhere, of course, social media is the key. And if you have network, if you have people with reach, then you need to use them. So we created a website, Instagram, but mostly LinkedIn. Since this was for female in tech jobs, we wanted it to happen on LinkedIn as a professional social platform. So we created a LinkedIn group as a format called She Transforms IT. We created a social media kit. So for every woman of this network, 50 different women, like CEOs of big companies, politicians, and so on, with share pics for each and every one with her own quote that they could post on the day that we set, all on the same day, in order to have a big impact and big reach. So that was the network. We worked with this initiative with weekly jour fixes. We had a small group of deciders which helped, and the roadmap, I just call it 4 weeks to hell because it was really a lot of work. But I'm just telling you to understand how to build it. This is what came out of it. So our first idea was to call it Femme Digital. They changed it or wanted She Transforms IT. So here you see on the left side, like the Instagram and the website. And here are the share pics and quotes and so ever. I'm just trying to show you because the choices you make in your strategy really have an impact on everything. So with us deciding that we want it to be the touch and feel or the look and feel of this initiative for women and men, we didn't want to make it too female only. So it should be something that also men would want to click on, like, and share. That made an impact on the choosing of the colors. Also, as you can see here, the idea was to say it's a plus for everyone. So it is a benefit not only for women, but for companies, for men, for innovation, for the whole of society. This is why you can see the logo, it's 2+ actually. So it's a hashtag, but created out of 2+. So everything from the strategy, also setting the different formats and the roadmap and how to engage the network, you really build it up from the ground, and then you take decisions that fit your strategy. And the impact was really amazing. So the online presence was realized in no more than 4 weeks. So everything, website and social media, we had 7 million reach in the first week. Articles in the German newspapers and big papers and magazines, and it was presented at the German government's digital summit by the Chancellorate, Angela Merkel. So it was a big impact. And this only was possible without a lot of work, because we had a strong network and we knew how to get the women on board and how to include them so that they would really share it. So this is just like a case study to show you how to work with a strategy for PR. Do you have questions in the moment? Is it interesting and relevant, or do you feel like, nah, doesn't really help? It's also fine, just tell me so I know what you need in the moment.
It's interesting. Actually, I'm sorry, just jumped in, but I'm locked out of the raise hand feature. Sorry.
Don't worry.
But actually, it imposes a lot of responsibility on us. Like the stories are impressive, and this makes us like think, what are we going to do? Think of the amazing ideas. What can we come up with?
Yes, so this is actually, this is work of a team. So it was like 5 people included in this. So it's not supposed to put pressure on you that you have to do something like this until next week. It's just to give you a tool, how to build a strategy. Are there more questions or remarks? I'm just happy to know that it's relevant for you, because if not, for me to be able to adjust the seminars. Because I would also say that we maybe take a short break if you don't have questions, and then move on to the topic of social media and go deeper into different social media contents in social media formats. But I would say let's take a break and meet here maybe at 8:05. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. See you
Okay.
then.
See you then. Good to have you back. How are you guys?
Sorry, Jessica, but there's something wrong.
There's something wrong?
For me, everything is okay. I can hear you.
Okay, thanks for the. I hope, Lama, that everything is all right there. I also heard from Rowan that there was somehow an explosion in the suburbs of Beirut. I hope you are all fine.
It was so scary.
Sorry?
The voice was so scary.
Yes, did you hear it?
Yes, we were in the meeting. We hear it all.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I hope you're all safe. Is everything all right?
Yes, but sorry, we could not attend more.
No, that's, I mean, that's of course understandable. Sorry. I hope, I mean, as I said, most important is your safety. So if you need to go somewhere or like be safe, totally understandable, of course.
Thank you.
So is it okay now, or do you need something? Do you need to go?
I feel it's better to grow to know more what's happening, Yana.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for understanding.
Yes, of course. So whoever needs to go and get safe, please do that. And if you can, let us know then how you are. The rest of you who want to stay, is it okay for you if we continue, or is it like, I don't know, I just want to hear how you are.
Jessica, thank you. But I can't attend now because there's a strike in Beirut and it's not safe to.
Yes. Yes, that's what I just said. Understood. So everyone, please get safe wherever you are. That's the most important. How about the others who are in the session now? What do you think? Should we continue? Should we postpone?
Prefer to postpone.
I don't know about that. Maybe if the meeting is being recorded, they can have a look at it. Or I don't know if they should be in the meeting and interact with it.
Okay, so Anna, Luisa also right. If we can continue the session later on, because we have to be ready in case they continue striking other places in Beirut. Yes, so first of all, everyone who is in Beirut, please be safe. Please get out of the session and just, that's not important in the moment. So totally understandable. Wait, I will just stop the recording in a moment. And they also wrote into the chat, so yes, I hope they keep us updated. Let's hope that it's fine and that nothing else is happening in the moment. Okay, whew. All right, that's the reality. We're doing this in the moment, but other than that, I think it's, as you said, for you and for also for us, it's important to continue with the work and to be able to communicate and to share what you are experiencing and where you're living in. So I just wanted to put social media in a nutshell and like to maybe, I don't know, like, because you're the group is very they're different experiences. So I saw that some of you already have quite professional profiles and you're working a lot with social media, others not. So please also now in this input, let me know what you need. If you have a question or if it's going too slow and you feel like I know about this already, just let me know, okay? So don't feel or don't hesitate to just interact and say whatever you need. First, I want to ask a question. Like, the first question would be, what do you guess? Like, how long is the attention span of a goldfish?
10
I
seconds.
guess it.
Loai, what was it? How much?
I said 10 seconds.
10. Okay.
No, it's a fractions from a second. Maybe 8
Needs
over 10
Hestia,
of a
what
second.
did you say? Hestia, what did you want to say?
Okay, just to be sure, it's the lifespan of a goldfish,
No,
right?
the attention span.
Attention span. Okay, sorry, I didn't hear well. I guess like they said, like maybe 8 seconds.
Yeah, you're all quite good. It's 8 seconds. And what do you think? What is the attention span of a social media user?
Probably
seconds.
about the same.
The same? Hestia, what do you say?
20 maybe seconds.
20 seconds?
I
Well,
think the first 5 seconds of any video is very important. Meaning that if it did not capture their attention in the first 5 seconds, they're not willing to keep or stay in the same video. So maybe, 5 seconds. I don't know.
I think if his face were يعني I was able to realize his reaction on his face, the attention span would be much longer than 5 seconds.
So it's
I would be
actually
more curious.
yeah, it's actually 7 seconds.
I believe it's less.
Yeah, sorry. Carla, sorry, now I already said it.
Yes, no, I thought it's less than 5 even.
Okay, so you had even less expectations from a social media user, and that's fair enough. It's less than a goldfish. It's 7 seconds. Here you can see the average amount of time that people watch a video on Instagram already. So yeah, I think it was Geet, right, who said like these first seconds, 7 seconds, they count. These are the seconds that you catch the attention and interest of a user. And if you like just close your eyes and say stop when we are at 7 seconds without counting from now. That's 7 seconds. So it's actually not too short. It's actually some time to really give your message out there to make the people listen to you. So use it wisely. When we are there at numbers, I also want to give you this insight. I don't know whether you have the statistics. This is like the ranking actually from this year of the largest social networks and also including messengers. It's from January this year, and you can see that still, even though, so this is worldwide, even though we think that Facebook somehow is dead because it's only old people using Facebook, it's still like the biggest social network. Afterwards, there's YouTube, then WhatsApp and Instagram, both important, TikTok, WeChat, Facebook Messenger, then Telegram, Douyin, Snapchat, and so on. So you see that Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, those are like the biggest and most important social networks. Where are you active, most active, and on which platform?
Mainly Instagram.
Instagram?
Instagram and Facebook.
Actually, for me, it's Facebook, WhatsApp, and YouTube. Since I'm a part-time musician, actually.
And LinkedIn, if it's considered as a social media.
Yeah, actually it is. It's considered a social media, but it's not even on the ranking. But yeah. Okay, so actually you are kind of representatives of this. So I want to get you really tired. I will show you some more numbers and statistics to get you tired and to get you to sleep. So this is the amount of time that the different generations spend on social media every day. So you can see already Gen Z is spending more than 2 hours each day on social media. And here in the older generation of the baby boomers, which are like the generation of my parents, I don't know the age of your parents, but I think they are like from 1950s to 69, 70, something like this. So they are spending 10 minutes to 1 hour, and not so much, not like so much time like the Gen Z. So it's really, you can see that there is a big difference between the different generations. Also, when it comes to the platforms they use. So here you also see another chart, as I said, of boring statistics and numbers, which generation, which ages use which kind of channels. But as you already spoke about it before, it's important to know if you want to reach your audience. So most of you said they're using Instagram, mainly Instagram and WhatsApp or Facebook. And I think then probably you're addressing kind of an audience like yourself. So probably you're all, as you are part of this program, between 18 or 29 or 30-ish. So probably the ones that are using Instagram. Here it's also Snapchat, which is also very famous here. I don't know whether you use Snapchat a lot, whether you are actually on Snapchat. So this is like something to know. I'm proud of you. You made it through the numbers and statistic, and as a reward, you get a funny pizza cat on a turtle. So when we talk about the different platforms and the different channels we have, you know, we can, or we have to acknowledge that they all follow a certain algorithm, they are programmed, and actually to really reach your audience, you have to play by the book of those different channels. So it really makes sense to focus on a channel, maybe one or two, and to really tailor your formats and your content to your channel. So this is my first step, is to think of your audience. Who do you want to reach? Where is your audience? And then do some research on that platform. What kind of content and how do you really reach them? Maybe you want to share something. Maybe one of you already did this and looked into their followers. Maybe you have some insights from before. So who are your followers, more or less?
I believe each one of us may have different answers.
Yes.
For example, from my end, I believe most of the people I follow and they follow me back are university students, people that I share with the same age maybe, or with the same community. So most of them live in the same place that I live in, or are university students.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I've just checked my insights to find out that like 75% of my followers are women from Arab region, mostly Jordan and Tunisia. And also they are between the age of starting from 18 until 39.
Mm-hmm. So it's classic Instagram audience, right?
Yes.
Thanks for sharing. Someone else? Did you look into the insights? If not, it doesn't matter. But as I said before, it really is interesting from time to time to look into the insights. It can be done on Facebook and Instagram, also LinkedIn. You can see who follows you, and you can actually also see, what do they like? What kind of content do they see, and what do they want to really, dive into? Because actually what matters most on social media is content. It's content above everything. Your content has to give information or entertainment or both of it to the people. So the most important thing is always to ask yourselves whether what you are publishing is really a benefit for your audience. So I wanted to give you some examples. Just let's look into different types of content and maybe evaluate or analyze together. And since we're talking about debate and about political engagement, I think, or I chose some content from an American congresswoman, which I think she's really doing well in the social media game. I think you know about her, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's from New York, and she's from the Democrats. And do you know her? Have you heard of her?
Personally, no. No, maybe I know her face, but her name, no.
Okay. So I will just show you this video. We can have a look together, and this is like one of her campaign videos that she's published on Instagram now, and it's like the campaign video that she's currently campaigning with. So let's have a look.
The cynics will tell you one vote doesn't change anything. But what they don't tell you is that nothing can change without a vote. A vote that isn't bought by Wall Street or lobbyists. A vote for guaranteed health care for every American. A vote to stand for our reproductive freedom and our civil rights. A vote to fight for a New York we can actually afford.
It never will fail.
You see, people like us were never supposed to run for office. And according to the cynics, we were definitely not supposed to win. But change isn't up to the cynics. It's up to us.
Okay, so what do you think? Of course, it's very American, but maybe you now know her, you have seen her.
Are you paying too much rent?
Wait.
On connie.de, you can eat.
So now. Do you like the video? Is it well done?
It's really interesting. It shows that she basically, like, it's obvious that a lot of effort was put into this video to transform the message she has, what she stands for in terms of representing Americans, being someone from this minority maybe of colored people. They're not actually a minority, but people that have been vote historically, and then she's representing them, and then she's pushing people to vote, convincing them that they can make a change. And I have some experience in filmmaking. It was actually very well made. Yeah, it's good, but I think it's very Hollywoody in a sense or another. But maybe this is the new kind of politics. So yeah.
So you think it is Hollywoody or not?
It is. It is very. It seems like a trailer for her winning story film. So, but it's good. I think, time is changing. Maybe these methods should be used more.
Mm-hmm. Some other reactions. Do you like it or not? What did you not like, maybe? Carla. Carla?
Yes, Diana, would you like to go?
If you want to go first, actually, I can't raise hand and I can't see who's raising the hand. That's why I'm just jumping in with my. I'm
Go
so
ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
Oh,
No,
thank you.
Bilal.
Thank you. I actually like the video because it's very, as they say, down to earth. like you're communicating with your community, being closer to them, being unselfish, and launching from the idea of shared interests and needs. So this is what I liked about it.
Thanks, Diana. Carla, what do you say?
Okay, so I believe that nothing will be accepted or liked by everyone. But what most people are liking now are videos that are well structured with good quality. The voice is catchy. The first 2 seconds, they are like they stick in your mind, especially when she said, "But a vote can," like when she talked about the vote. So I remember it, and the video passed very quickly, but I still remember the few lines that she started with. So this tactic or this way by opening the video says a lot. Like I understood the video and I will take it with me, like it's stuck in my head. So I believe this is the criteria of making something that can really affect people and catch their attention in the first few 7 seconds. When you talked about the amount of the time of social media when a person is actually concentrating on the video or on something that he or she is viewing on social media.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is like it's a classic campaign video, and you know it also the width. It's like the format that's uses. It's not like a reel. It's horizontal, so that's like it's made for YouTube. It's made for as you say, like this Hollywoody trailer look, but at the same time it's short and it's on point, and she uses like one key aspect, like one key message. Remember what you did the last week, and she executes it from the beginning to the end, talking about the cynics who say that a vote doesn't count, but how the cynics always try to keep the ones who she represents, people from the Bronx, people not privileged, away from voting, away from running for certain positions. And clearly, you know, she's aiming at Trump voters and at Republicans. So you can tell from the way she structures. Well, she didn't do it. Probably there was like a big agency or a media corporation behind it. But she's very, very good in using her voice, also making it emotional, how they are using pictures from her in the everyday life in New York, really bringing it to the people who live there, showing her as one of them, and also her being in between those people in the streets in New York. So I think that's well made. So of course, like this is one part, this is one type of content. This is like produced video, as Guy said, it's really professional. Another content type that we see a lot is something like this. Now this is a YouTube short, and I wanted to look into it with you. It's very, very short, but I also think it's interesting how she did it.
Banned due to Republican measures. The life of Rosa Parks. This apparently is too woke by the Republican Party. Song of Solomon is unacceptable to Republican politics. 40% of banned books have reported are significantly addressing and specifically addressing LGBT issues. This Republican bill is asking the government to force the outing of LGBT people before they are ready. When we talk about progressive values, I can say what my progressive value is, and that is freedom over fascism. Thank you very much. Time.
Okay, so that's like a very short reel, and you see that they cut out different sequences of her speech and made a video out of it. Something that we see a lot now from representatives in the parliament, which has done a lot to use like the key messages, the key arguments, and create a video out of it. What do you say about this kind of content? Do you like it? Do you think it's interesting? What catches your eye? What do you maybe also criticize? Carla?
Personally, it annoyed me.
Yes?
I felt like someone is screaming. I didn't understand. I thought at the beginning, I thought she's against the LGBTQ. Then no, she's with the, yeah, she's defending the community. I didn't understand. I couldn't focus because she was very angry. So her emotions were louder than the content. We should be emotional and we can portray anger or our stand, like it's a no, for example, but in a less, in more emotional intelligence, I believe. With more emotional intelligence.
Thanks for sharing. Hestia?
I guess it was really smooth how they cut the essential part of her speech. Maybe as they said before, it's not, it's really loud, but maybe because it's the principle, like the more effective maybe part of her speech. Also, I like how they were like, also when the movement was like really like it was really great how she did it with something like with her body language and not only by speaking, to show also how much it is affecting like the situation. The like what they try to remove from the cultural like space of the United States.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Abla also put into the chat, she was confident, the behavior, the way she closed the book and left, she made a point. Yeah, so that's definitely something she's also very good at, and this is what we put as like the part of personality. Like, I don't want you to record, you can if you want to, but I don't ask you to record a professional campaign video of 1 minute of you with a drone flying over you and whatever, but to show your personality, what you believe in, and to evoke emotions. This does not mean, Carla, the way you said it, that you have to scream or be angry. That's not always the appropriate emotion. It always depends on your topic and what you want to, what you want to evoke in your audience. But I think, talking about political content, especially here in Germany, we have this issue that people always try to be very rational and they are afraid of emotions. And I would also be interested in your content or what you think is good, and I want to hear about it shortly, just talking about some content types and then listen to you and your experience, because it doesn't always have to be a high-class, Hollywoody, super shiny video or great pictures. Content beats form. And here you also see on her Instagram that actually the videos that she just records in her maybe home, in her car when she's on the way back somewhere, where she's explaining something, the process of policy making, the decisions and what really happened, and she's always very quick about it and on point. That is really what matters and what interests the people. And that's also, it comes with experience, but it also is a matter of strategy. Like, if you know what you want to say, if you have a clear message, if you know what you stand for, then it's easier to do that, definitely. Also, she's really good and quick at trying new things and really reaching new audiences. So here you can see what she did is she played Among Us with Twitch streamers and YouTubers. So she was streaming on Twitch, which is this gaming platform. And for, I think, 2 or 3 hours, she was just during streaming a game and during playing with someone, she was talking about politics and her ideas, connecting it with the gaming and with the games she played. So I think that's really smart on how to reach new audiences and how to be seen. And it was massive. People were really impressed, and she's very good in rhetorics and really connecting it. So it's really interesting to see how she did it. So this is just, examples of her, because she's like a famous politician. She has also her brand. She's a bit nerdy, so going to Twitch made sense for her because she also comes from a gaming background, and she likes to position herself as someone who is edgy and nerdy. She's a beautiful young woman, but at the same time, she doesn't really play that card a lot. She wants to be heard and seen for what she stands for. So I think she's someone interesting to look at when it comes to political content. But as I said before, I want to hear from you, because I showed you her now because I think it's interesting to see, but I would really like this to be a discussion and to hear from you if you have content maybe that you are proud of, that you feel like that really was something that you worked on, or a content that you saw that you think was really interesting, or if you maybe have something you want to share that you feel like, that's not really on point, something that really didn't work out, but I learned something from it. So I would just be happy to hear from you. Doesn't have to be only your content, can also be something that you saw that you thought was interesting or cool, so that we can maybe create together a map of good content. Do you have something in mind that we can have a look at?
Yes, I follow a dietitian on Instagram. So she created a ritual with her followers that every day in the morning she chooses a certain health topic and she talks about it and she answers all the questions. And it's on daily basis from Monday till Thursday or Friday.
Cool. Can you share the name?
Yeah, it's called Lighter Style.
Do you have a link, or maybe you can have a look and post it in the chat so we can have a look?
Yeah, I can drop the link.
Cool. Diana, you also wanted to add.
Yes, I actually wrote a song like a few years ago about the gender-based violence and violence against women, which was totally made by me except for the lyrics. But I made a lyric video, and I was interviewed by the BBC Arabic too. And I marketed it through Twitter, and it actually reached some celebrities, and I got a lot of feedback on it. So I guess that's a good thing for me. I don't know.
Cool, that's very good. If you want to share a link in the chat, that would also be cool, so we can have a look at
Sure.
it. Good.
Okay, so last semester during the summer semester, so basically a few weeks ago, I was taking a course. It was part of it had in the final part of it, we had to make an advocacy speech regarding a certain topic we chose. So I chose it to be about sectarian, the interfaith dialogue in Lebanon, and how important it is in reducing sectarianism. Now, the interesting thing is that our doctor taught us how to make the speech, and just the speech. And he did not give us anything concerning how this YouTube video must be engaging, how the first 7 seconds matter, all of these ideas. So it ended up being just a speech, but instead of me standing in front of them, I had to record it. So that I have the video. I mean, I would say the speech is good, but it can be just a solid example of how I've not a very successful video would be, although the content may be good. but sometimes the form really matters.
Yeah.
I have no problem with sharing it, but I don't think it represents a good example of how a good engaging YouTube video would be.
You can definitely share it. Thank you, Geet. So exactly, that's two things. So first of all, what you said, it's like different formats. Giving a speech, also, you know, parliamentarians, when they give a speech of 3 minutes in parliament, that's something completely different than a reel on Instagram. You know, that's 90 seconds, that has to be short, that has the 7 seconds in the beginning. You have to have like a thesis or a sentence, a catchy sentence at the beginning, something that is really catching the attention of the people. But what they do a lot, so probably, Geet, out of the speech you gave, which was probably a good speech, and I can only imagine that you did well, just like they did with the AOC speech, they cut it and they take out like the most important parts and put this together and make like a very quick reel out of it. And this is how parliamentarians reuse their speeches. So probably out of your speech that you created as a live speech, it's not so much to make a cool reel out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you know, that's also, I think it's very valuable if we can look at things and learn from it. So I don't know about, yeah, so Geet shared the link. And
yeah, and what I'm trying to say is that, for example, in our university, they're trying to, you know, use these advanced techniques or these techniques in order to help us utilize social media for our, you know, spreading whatever message we have. But at the same time, we really gotta know that there's a difference between the formats. The content must be the same, maybe in terms of the message, but the form really plays a role. So if I had the session before the speech, it will be definitely a different kind of speech in that video.
So if you want, we can have a look at it and then also talk about Maria, or give the next talking point to Maria. So this is Geet's speech. We will look into it. Maybe, Geet, we will not see the whole because it's almost 5 minutes. So maybe we just dive into it.
40 years ago, my grandfather would have never imagined me being part of such a class. Why? Because of the simple fact of it's a small room combining people named Muhammad, Ali, Arman, Christian, all at the same time. And that's because he used to believe that sectarianism is an incurable disease spreading among Lebanese, especially after he witnessed the civil war, which made him think that unity can be only attained again in dreams. But now the war is over. However, sectarianism is not. Maybe not among you, my classmates, but it definitely exists outside. And I think we should do more than just being against it. We should be trying to reduce it by initiating interreligious dialogues that will foster the sense of understanding and tolerance among us. Today, after conducting a research about the role of the interfaith dialogues in reducing sectarianism, I'm recording this to push you to be part of these talks, not only on campus, but wherever you go. Starting up first, sectarianism did not come from nowhere, but history. According to our research done by AUB, the historical events that happened in Lebanon show the foreign role in entrenching sectarianism. Starting up first in 1516, Ottomans ruled Lebanon, and back then, each religious community could partially govern itself. Then in 1920, the French came, and they enhanced it by favoring certain sects over the others. And even after we got our independence, foreign powers played a major role in creating the National Pact in 1943, which allocated political power among the sects. All of these factors strengthened sectarianism, and all of these were foreign interventions. To make it clear, sectarianism is a lot more than negative emotions held in hearts. It actually causes destructive actions that affects our entire nation, just like the corruption we have today. Think about it. Why are all the Lebanese who openly say that they're against corruption do not do anything to end it? It's the same reason why we still have the same politicians from 30 years ago. And we all know it. Politicians use religion in order to get support from people. In fact, statistics show that more than 80% of political parties in power have a direct religious identity. But also foreign countries are taking advantage of it. They are actually turning Lebanon into a chess game. But here, Czech pieces of the same team are killing each other. Today, we all, Muslims and Christians, have lost our money in banks. We've left people overseas, and we all wish things would have been different. And they can be different. We can make them different. So how can young people just like us make a difference by initiating these interreligious dialogues? Well, it can range from arranging very well-organized events and educational panels to just having these simple talks and jokes that will break the stereotypes we have about each other in our minds. And most importantly, we should spread the word of love in our close communities as well. To sum it up, sectarianism was deeply rooted in Lebanon even before it was established, mainly because of foreign interventions. Although it has destructive impacts on the society and the country, politicians still use it for their own benefits. And because we are the future citizens and leaders of our nation, we should be fighting this religion-based discrimination. And I'm not saying that we should ignore it. We can never ignore it. You will still eat your breakfast on Ramadan, and I will still work on Easter. But we can foster understanding and tolerance toward each other's. Through what? Interfaith dialogues. My dear classmates, do not underestimate the power of us as a change and peacemakers. So let's have this goal of reducing sectarianism present in the panels we arrange, the events we organize, and in the chit-chats we make. Let's work to create the Lebanon we desire, the Lebanon our grandfathers once dreamt of. Thank you.
Woohoo! Wow, really cool. Applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really good.
Thank you.
Hey, I think it's super cool, and I think it's easy to make a social media content out of it. Just some remarks, some feedback. So, for example, for social media, for the reel, it's cool to do it in this vertical. So
Yeah.
vertical. So that's just a format thing. You know, this was meant to be a video that you handed in for your classmates for social media, transfer it.
Yeah.
And we can easily play with perspectives. So what we need on social media is to use motion in order to make it visually stimulating for the people. So you can either use it and just walk with it, you know? I saw cool content of someone exactly what you did, talking about complex topics while walking through the street. Just make it more be in motion. Or if you explain something, use perspectives, zoom in, zoom out, you know, just make it a bit more
Exactly, more engaging. I honestly shot at 2 a.m., so I'm thankful I got this result.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I love the messages you have. I love the pictures you used. Also, starting with your granddad. You know, this is like also the attention catcher in the beginning, in the first 7 seconds. Use something. You want to know why? I explain you now. And then you explain the journey and where it comes from historically and what are like the examples. So I think it's actually you could use exact the same speech and just make it a bit more engaging by using a bit more motion and maybe, you know, bigger phrases like this.
Yeah.
That's probably something you could easily do. And also the videos, you know, if you do a reel and you record it on Instagram, it has to be 90 seconds, but you can also upload longer videos. So it doesn't have to be 90 seconds to be a good video. Yeah.
Yeah. I think also the emotions, as you said, and speaking in a more fast-paced way would be better to keeping the people or the audience engaged.
I'm not sure about the speed because I think it's not a thing about speech, it's a bit more about emotion and also the perspective, because you had it a bit like this, you know, if you do it like this.
Exactly, yeah. I had to fix it somewhere.
And you know, social media is really close. So really come close to the people, explain it. I'm going to show you how. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. But that's easily made. And you know, this is also something that we want to work on in the second phase of this program. You know, we have Sergej Pudic, who is director and cameraman, and he will also give a speech and hold a session on video storytelling and how to create this kind of videos. We want to create like a small campaign videos of the people, formats where they debate on a topic that is relevant to them, just like you did, and then post it. So this is something that we can also do hands-on. Maria also wanted to add something. So thanks, first of all, Geet, for sharing this with us. And also, Diana, if you want to post the video that you recorded, the song, it would also be well appreciated. Maria?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the way Jay Shetty posts his reels and the way he talks is really attractive. And he really delivers his message in a very short way and in an emotional way.
Can you say the name again?
Jay Shetty, he is a motivational speaker. He also have a book.
Can you post them into the chat and people can also have a look? Maybe you all know about him and I'm the only person who doesn't. Yeah, so, but thanks. Yeah, there are like a lot of good examples.
Wo gelebt wird, entstehen Flecken.
So this is the video that Diana shared. So I'm really happy also to learn and hear from you and your contents. You know, there are like thousands of possibilities how to create good videos. So I think we could talk about this for hours. And I'm also very happy to go into detail with this. But as for now and where we are standing in the moment, I just wanted to show you that there are many tools to use for social media. So definitely one is Pinterest. It's a social network, but you can use it well for research, inspiration, creating mood boards. I think it's very handy when it comes to design and inspiration on looks. So that's very convenient to use. You can also create mood boards on Miro or just, you know, cut things out. Mood board comes very handy to create a brand and to create a better visual idea of what you want to look like and what you want to transport with the images. I don't know whether you're working with design already. If not, you can use Canva, for example. There is a free version which already has a lot of options to use. The paid version makes sense because it has a lot of very convenient and nice tools, like the background remover. You can use the app for the posting on the go. So it's very easy to use. It has templates of every kind of content that you could use, different pictures, different looks. So there is a huge library that you can use, fonts, everything. It's easy to integrate. You can establish your own style with the colors you want to use, the fonts you want to use, and then have your own look that you can always associate with yourself, your campaign, your initiative, what you stand for. Unsplash is a free stock photos library, and data wrapper here. Also, there is a Canva library, and also in the Wikimedia, for example, you can look for pictures. Data wrapper is a free chart making software that you can use to create different kind of data visualizations, which is really nice. You can upload any kind of spreadsheet and have chart designs, which comes out handy. Pixlr is also a photo editing software that you can use. You can definitely use apps for drawing if you are creative and want to do illustrations. You can do stop motion videos. It's one tool is called Stop Motion Studio. It's a lot of work, but it's fun, and you can edit it from your phone. Then there are very convenient built-in movie editing softwares like iMovie at Mac, the Windows Movie Makers. So there are also with your mobiles, and now also with Instagram, you have a lot of possibilities to create reels with different fonts and emojis and GIFs and whatever. And also, you know, the best platform is YouTube to just search how to and get tutorials on everything. You can also create surveys with, for example, Google Forms or SurveyMonkey or Menti. So if you want to research something or, you know, just show different kind of data, that's a great way. Also Menti, we did it in the past, you know, to create those word clouds. And you can use thousands of different organization tools. I like Miro, for example, to work together collaboratively online. They have templates and stickers and stuff that you could use. We have Trello to organize your tasks, like a Kanban board with your to-dos. And you can use it in Teams and add deadlines and everything else. Easy Retro is also another possibility to use, where to put like sticky notes online. You have this I really like, it's called Notion, so you can organize your work online and have templates, how to really structure a site well, how to create projects, and I think it's really handy. You can also use artificial intelligence and just search for stuff and write things there. So that's kind of some tools that I wanted to share with you, because I think, you know, when it comes to social media, it's always also a very technical aspect, because it takes time to create videos, to create graphics and pictures, and to upload it. You know that you have the possibilities on planning it. It definitely makes sense to somehow get in a certain rhythm of posting things regularly to really get the algorithm going, but it all takes time. So this is just some inspiration. I don't know whether you have any tools that you want to share that you feel are really helpful. I thought about it sometime, but I did not really use AI tools now so much here, like ChatGPT or Midjourney, just because I'm not so much an expert in it, and I didn't want to put something that I haven't really, you know, tried myself. ChatGPT is very handy when it comes to writing or researching, but it has its limits. Midjourney you can use to create graphics and pictures and so on. It's also fun, but I'm not an expert. This is why I didn't include it. So in case you have any tools that you think are very good to use for social media, feel free to share them also in the chat. I'm just speeding this up now because, you know, it's already after the time that we have agreed on that we should stay together, so I'm trying not to take your whole evening away. But if you feel like there is something you want to share or you want to ask, go ahead, you can ask me anything or share. Geet shared CapCut for video editing. Yeah, definitely. Also Subcap, I didn't add it, I forgot it, for subtitles, video subtitles. Do you have questions, remarks, recommendations you want to share?
Everything is clear. I don't think there's anything additional I can say or add to this. But I would say that there are many AI tools that are very beneficial in terms of video editing and content creation. So they're easily accessed also. You can just search for them on Google and there are plenty of them. Some of them are still free up until now because they're brand new, so we can use them. Even if they need subscription, they're very worth it because they really save so much time and effort. So yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and thanks so much for today's session. It was really beneficial.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it's a huge topic and I could also continue for hours because there is like so many aspects that we could also still that we could still elaborate on. Hannah, dear, thank you also for sharing. I think you also have cool content, right? So I would also be happy, also in the WhatsApp group, if I think, you know, use this network. If you post something, post it into the group, tell the others, hey, would you maybe like my post or share it? Because that helps pushing the algorithm. And this way we can support each other and we can boost our posts and make them more visible. Because, you know, there are thousands of things that we could make better in the future or work on or whatever, but I think better done than perfect. So whatever you do is great already, and I think it's worth sharing. I'm pretty sure that the content you create is already super interesting. So really use this network and just start doing it. Just collecting your own experiences and rather than waiting too long, just get it out there. So thank you so much for listening and also for your kind feedback. And I really hope that the people in Lebanon are fine and we hear from them. And thanks for being here tonight with me. We have the next session. We'll put it on just as a reminder when people see it here. On next Tuesday, it's the 8th of August at 6 p.m. It's about the art of debating with Rowan and Chris. So we'll be happy to see you there. And if you have questions also about the videos, let us know. Really looking forward to seeing them.
Thank you. Looking forward. Thank you so
much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this amazing session.
Have a good evening, everyone. Bye.
You too, and stay safe, please.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye. Bye, everyone. Have a Thank good night. you. Bye.